Okay, so I'm Blackblade, and I'm replying here to you, CZBGR Icepick. Sorry, I really can't read it properly because I'm getting fed up of repeating the same thing. I already repeated myself, I think, 6 times or more about the same thing, and it's really getting feding up, annoying. Again, it's getting really annoying. So I'm hoping this video where I'm actually talking will actually explain myself better than my text. Because maybe I forgot to write something and maybe this will actually help you understand it. And if I'll type too long, I'll probably make gibberish. So let's go in. Okay, so that's because you do not get it, and at least someone else here does get it. No. You say, what? Okay, well, I'm saying no here is about offline mode. Dude, how many times have I repeated this? This is really frustrating, okay? When I read this line over here, okay, I hit the table because I was already frustrated, okay? Really, really frustrated because this is what I talk about when I tell people I'm talking to a brick wall. Okay, because on the beginning of the quoted message, I hope read because it's quoted here, is offline modes are applied to a specific issue that it does do the job for. It does not mean it needs to have all functions. As for someone that only wants to be able to play the games, is great. Okay. I replied on offline to someone who said he basically wanted an offline option. That's why I said offline. I did not say it was fixing for all XP issues. I did not say that. And I did not say it can download. I did not say it can do achievements. And I did not say it's the optimal way to do stuff. I only said that for that specific case, that specific guide I replied to in the time, okay, for him, offline mode was what he was basically looking for. Okay, just disable the option to connect to the internet, and you're good to go. That's why I said to him. And then he started replying with, oh, offline mode is not helpful. I don't care if it's helpful for you, because it wasn't a reply to you. I wasn't saying it was for you. I didn't say it's allowed downloading. I didn't say it's optimal. Okay, you should read what people say, because this thing, I repeated myself over and over. It wasn't for you. It was not for you. And he just keep repeating like, offline mode is not good for us. It doesn't give us all features. I didn't say it is. I mean, this is so frustrating to repeat over and over again. I don't think I can make it more clear than this. I repeated myself over and over. And it's not like you're even applying. You're not even applying it. And, oh yeah, you said that already. Instead, you're just going on the same thing you just said 3 times already. And I already told you how it's not relevant. So please understand why I actually said, instead of just making up stuff. And I don't know what. I don't know where you have the idea that I said offline mode is for you. I didn't say that. And I even said specifically it's not. So please, read. Okay, because this is getting frustrating. This is why I'm making a video instead of replying with text. Because I'm frustrated with text already. I'm frustrated on repeating myself. Okay, so let's move on the actual stuff. Okay. It's not false points of valid ones. This guy's about fact does not mean understand. Okay. So if I'm right, this is all about how a game that's not on Steam and it got patched. Honestly, I didn't get why you even put this whole thing of Okamon. Like, okay, it got patched and it got fixed and people this and it got on Steam. And just point out, if it got in Steam, it means the developer put it in Steam, because GOG will not put it in Steam. So the developer actually took the patch, said thank you very much, basically, and put it in Steam. And why is that an issue exactly? I don't know why is this even relevant. I really don't know. And you can say, oh yeah, the game wouldn't work without the fix. Yeah, there are a few games, and again, I'll just repeat this to make this very, very clear, okay? Few games, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying few games because, like I said, the testing of so far, every time someone gave me a list, they gave me a lot of times the same games, and they said like, oh yeah, this doesn't work, and it worked just fine, most of them, and pretty much all of them, except like few, very few, and even then, And this is including, I'll say a few and not just a few singles, because I'm including visual issues, not just small stuff that you can play without them like Far Cry. You can play just fine Windows 10, no fixes, no patches, nothing, but if you want the whole reflection stuff, you do need to patch a bit. But I'm putting that in the list just to make a point. It's very few games. There's not that many games that need this patching. Okay, so keep pointing like, yeah, but you need patching for very few games, and they work fine after the patch, and the patch usually is not hard. In the patch, a lot of times it's just like adding 2 lines in your ini file, or compatibility mode, or easy stuff. And only in really, 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 really rare cases is it actually doing some really real hard work in it. Then sorry, it's not. No. The case of the rare cases, I mean, I agree. They are relevant if it doesn't work at all. If you need to do some patch in those cases, in a really rare case, then no, I don't think it's relevant. It's not relevant at that point. I'm sorry, it isn't. Because it's a rare case. And it's very few cases that do work in the end. It does work. In the end, it does work, and that's why I think it's actually important here. Remember. And I'll reply about Valve in this, please, in the end. So let me get that. Now, also to know the Oregon Trail. Okay. This is also going into the punch cards in the next one. The reason I gave the punch cards and the reason I'm saying that Oregon Trail is not relevant is because as much as I asked, as much as I searched, as much as I tried, I cannot find a game that can't work on Windows 10. Okay, on Steam. On Steam. Just repeat that again. On Steam. I can't find any game that doesn't work. Now, I will say that I believe, and I'm sure out there are a few games that have no patches, games that don't work on Windows 10 at all and need XP to run. But if those games specifically, okay, with those specific issues that can't work at all, are not on Steam, they're not relevant for Steam supporting XP. Okay, you get my point here now? I'm saying if the game is not on Steam, okay, if this free discs are not on Steam, and we don't have a case that has the same bug as those free discs, that will maybe make it completely unplayable on Windows 10, it's simply not relevant because there's no case like that. And you can come and say, but there might be. And that's why you seem to say, yeah, but look, there's one game here that doesn't work. So therefore, there might be one on Steam. And you're right, I completely agree, and that's why I'm searching. I'm searching as much as I can, as deep as I can, to find that one game that can't work, doesn't have even patches to make it work. Okay? I'm trying to find those cases. And I can't. I really, really try. And I really, really can't. I even ran a few games that nobody even owns anymore because they were removed from Steam. So you can't get them. And they work. So, you get my point? I'm saying those games work. Okay, GTA, for example, 1 and 2 work just fine. And I didn't patch them into anything, but the thing is, they're not even sold on Steam anymore. They're not sold anywhere anymore, except maybe if you get them on disc. But the point is, they run. And I checked those, okay? That's how deep I went because someone put it on as an option, even if I would test it, I just test again just to make sure I'm right. And I'm probably killing my disk by just keeping installing, deleting stuff, and I'm doing SSD just to make it faster, the whole process. And it works just fine. Every time. Except a few cases, like I said, that do need fixing. It's the rare case. And if we can't find one game, one game is all I'm asking, that doesn't have a patch, or can't be patched, and doesn't work on Windows 10, then the point of games that only works on XP are not relevant. And I'm assuming you said, yeah, there's no one like that, and okay, let's move on and go back to this. Okay, so I'm saying if we can't find a game, we can't find even one, and you can say, well, there might be one out there, but the thing is, okay, and this is what I'm trying to point out. Just to remind you, the floodgates only opened the last year or two. In other words, Steam was a very closed system until now, and even more in the past, before Greenlight even. And games that were developed specifically for XP were on a very limited time. That means that overall, the games that are only for Windows 10, only for Windows XP, okay, were made for Windows XP and may have those issues at all to begin with, are honestly games that are most likely can be found. I mean, there isn't that much of a list, okay? I mean, I'm trying to remember, but when Greenlight was even on, I think the maximum amount of games on Steam were 10,000, the max? I have around 7K games now, I think. Something like that. So the point is, I probably have most of those games at this point. Okay, so if there is actually a game like that doesn't work beyond XP, I most likely have it, and I would love to test it and see it doesn't work. But I can't find that so far, and nobody gave me a game like that so far. So far I'm inclined to believe that there isn't a game like that, and therefore every game can be patched. It can work, or in the worst case, be patched to work on Windows 10, and then run. I'm not talking just being patched and work more or less. I'm talking about being patched and work just amazingly well, just as it was originally. As in the case of Splinter Cell, that could be patched actually to be a perfect look and everything visually, and lighting and everything. Okay, so if you haven't seen card video. Okay, so again, the reason I gave the patch card is because Steam doesn't have punch card games. Okay, and no issue of a punch card game will exist on Steam because of that. Right? I mean, nobody needs to buy a card video to play any game that's on Steam because Steam doesn't have a card games. What punch cards games? And honestly, I don't think there are games. Just the first example that came to my head, it was probably a stupid idea, but anyway, that's the point. And the thing is, I'm just saying, your Organ Trail is just more like a punch card system because the issue it has is not relevant here because it doesn't exist like that. There's no case like that on Steam, if there is. Because like I said, every single game I found so far, I found the fix on Steam itself, usually on a guide, except 1-2 cases that was only visual fixing and not actually fixing the game. Those were not guides even, those were actually discussions. And someone could just go and make a guide. I probably should do that. But the point is, really easy to find. Really easy to fix. So, any problem that isn't like that, problem like you said, it's really hard to find. Oh look, there's Organ Trails really hard to find. But if Steam doesn't have any case like that, that's hard to find and is almost impossible to get, then the Organ Trail is not relevant. It's just like a punch card system that's not relevant nowadays. I don't think. Someone might tell me that actually is relevant somehow, and I'd love to hear how. But I don't think it is, except for museums. Or XP maybe should be today. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I missed the point. Yeah, you can tell me now if I missed the point, okay, because I explained why I don't think it's relevant. Okay, I understand that maybe you gave the Organ Trail saying, yes, there are old games that don't work, and because of that, there might be games on Steam that also don't work. But, like I said, there's not that many on the possible list. So if they aren't there, they don't exist. And if they don't exist on Steam, then they're not relevant. And then if your Organ Trail CD issue thing is not relevant, it's honestly not important and has nothing to do here. And hopefully that will make it clear. Okay. Steam 7, the prediction is not Steam because we're trying to channel all the games to also sells. Yeah, but again, the games work. Most of them. The biggest amount, okay? Most of the games work fine. Okay, I'm saying most, I mean almost all of them work just fine. And I'm not saying fine as, okay. I'm talking about fine as in just as they were being in the original system. And no fixing, nothing. Most of them are like that. Okay, very few actually patching, very few actually fixing. Okay. And there's another thing. Without the fix, you have nothing. It wouldn't work. In the rare cases it does, and it's true. Okay, welcome to PC gaming. I mean, I know you could say this, but as much as you could say that, also I think you said at some point here that if it runs on my system doesn't mean it has to run everyone's system, and therefore my point is irrelevant. But the point is, I'm saying that if it does run on my system, it's possible to run on that system. It's possible to run it on Windows 10, and just to point out, most of them I applied one fix. Far Cry and Splinter Cell were only two I actually had to go a bit beyond. And Far Cry is because the first one I did didn't work, and the second fix did work. Splinter Cell, I actually had to apply around two fixes. One of them was actually to improve it beyond what the XP had by applying the PlayStation 3 textures to make it look a bit better. And the Lightning one was a different patch. That was actually a program, and it was really cool finding it because it helped. It probably will help more stuff. But, and also by the way, just it gives a very clear sign it's working. So I know it didn't work on anything else so far except the Splinter Cell game. So it's not like that's the thing that fixed any other game for me. And every other patch, by the way, was actually changing an ini file and stuff like that inside the game folder, except this case of Shadowground Survivor that actually needed to put a physics driver. That, by the way, just to point out on this point, that physics driver is not actually a Windows 10 issue. It's an NVIDIA issue with the driver not being installed. And that could maybe be even a problem with Steam, that it doesn't actually install the old physics driver that can actually, by the way, work as much as I can understand at the same time. So the problem is just that Steam assumes that the new physics driver can run this new one, this old one, and that's what I'm talking about here, this part. And it actually probably work, and it could also happen basically on Windows XP. So that's not even a Windows 10 issue. This problem here is not even a Windows 10 issue. Get it? So, yeah. Very rare cases that it actually has a Windows 10 issue. That's actually relevant on there. Now, it's saying here, you're tired of people, someone pointing you to the list, yet you did not ask what actually, you did ask what actually didn't work. Okay. Just to make it clear, I'll read it again. Beyond this point, I am done. I am really getting tired of someone just pointing me to lists. That's for most part and work fine, I have no issue. For later, I really prefer if someone can point me one game compared to a huge list that says even more than works on this. Okay. No, I didn't say that I have a problem people this. Yes, yet you did ask what games actually didn't work. You're right. And that's the thing. I asked which games did not work. Okay? And so far, just to point out, most of the people that point me to games that work just fine. Like, I think GTA was posted twice or 3 times. Okay, before. I mean, and was part of a list by way of other games that I tested. And was like, but I already tested that. And what even more annoying is, the reason I really got fed up is the list you actually sent me was a list that didn't even only have Steam games. And again, I understand, yeah, old games don't work. But again, like I said, it's not relevant if the problem is not on Steam. And I'm looking for problems with Steam games. Because if we can find that one single game that actually doesn't work on Windows 10, even with simple patches, okay? If we can't find that one, then I can't say that the point of games don't work is a valid reason for Valve to waste time making a second version. And again, I will apply to that part in a second. So, okay. He also said here something about it didn't work originally and then it worked later because, yeah, okay. So it didn't work originally and it didn't work later and will continue to work. Get my point here? It was nothing hard. I'm just saying it will continue to work. Okay? The thing is, yeah, it didn't work originally because they didn't add this thing, but probably people asked for it and they added it, and now it actually works. And most likely will keep working. So it's not being able to work in the past. Before, by the way, Steam even said they're going to close XP. It's pointless right now because it works. And that's it. I mean, if XP, let's say, was still supported, and then they add something that broke it, will that make XP not relevant then to anyone? Okay. But it's not more than one everyone. Okay, like, this I already replied to. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can. Okay, so. Sorry, I'm confused here. Okay, so. I didn't really get this. Like, okay, it's hard to get Windows 10, and then you can have limited. Okay, you're talking about testing, I'm assuming? Test the games to see if they work or not. I didn't say that's the only option. I also said you can just search for stuff. If you can actually give me a game that doesn't work. Actually, we'll look for someone maybe that posts, this game doesn't work. And without having like 2 lines under it, here you go, here's a way to make it work. Or, oh, you might have this issue. Okay? Because in the end, I can say that, okay, no, I'm going to keep on that. I think it's later. Okay, so the point is, I'm saying, yeah, and even if you don't have to, okay, you might not have a Windows 10 device to test on. Someone else does. Someone else out there, at least one of them, said he has an XP and a Windows 10, and I'm expecting him to give me a list in a worst case scenario. Okay, I'm looking for that game that doesn't work. I'm looking for the one single game that can't work. Because if we have it, we have a reason. If we don't, it's not a valid reason because the games work. And you can make them work. And most of them are easy. And it's just basically, if a developer decides, hey, I'm going to put this in a patch, and then it will just work forever straight out of the box. The thing is, of course, more developers don't update anymore. But that's a different point in the end. Similar games, installation the same way we said. Okay, like I said, it's not relevant if the problem doesn't persist in Steam. If there's no problem like that in a game in Steam, then the point is non-valid. It's not any point. It's pointless. It doesn't hold water. If it doesn't, because it can hold water outside Steam, but it doesn't give a reason. It's like saying that if Valve doesn't support a Macintosh computer, some really old version of Macintosh, then it is not relevant because it's not relevant. In this case, it's not relevant if the case doesn't exist. If there's no game with the same issue on Steam, it doesn't matter. It could as much be a board game. Okay, because again, it's not relevant to the digital layer. It is not relevant to the Steam DRM. It's not relevant to what Steam can do. Because it's outside of Steam and that problem doesn't exist in Steam. You misunderstood. Legacy. Okay. About the legacy clients. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say about. No, it's not. I simply say the very simple thing. If you have a client, and that client connects to Steam servers, that client has to have a connection to Steam servers. Whatever happens to the Steam servers, if the Steam servers get updated later on, it needs an update for that. If Steam changes something on the protocols, it needs an update for that. If Steam changes the packaging system, it needs an update for that. That means that legacy client will need more support, will require Valve to put manpower into it after it's released. It's not a launch and forget system. They can't just launch and forget it. Okay? You can keep saying, yeah, but the thing is, it was maybe if Steam worked like GOG. Okay, if Steam really only had installation and you get installation and you just install it, then yeah. But that's not how Steam works. So, no. Simply no, it can't work like that. And even more because, like I said, Steam works on a protected disk. And look, I mean, you could some say maybe, hey, look, GOG can do it. The thing is, GOG also gives DRM free. Okay, they basically don't really care if someone, launches on the server and grabs games because they anyway work in trust. And if someone decides to just give away the game, there's not much they can do about it. Right? So, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm assuming they can just give the games out on their site. They can just let you download straight from the browser. Because worst case, someone is not supposed to download it, but they could also just get it from someone that can download it, and nothing will change. GOG has very little power in blocking that, unlike Steam, that does have a way to block it much more because the client, their games can be DRM-free. Just repeat it again, games on Steam can be DRM-free, and a lot of them are DRM-free. Some of them just implant Steam in a bad way, and therefore it doesn't work properly. Not because it's actually DRM. It's simply the developer doing a mess up. But for the most case, it's not working the same. So they can just do the same things and again just make a client and say, yeah, it's okay because all the games just work with the package that you can just install yourself. No, because it works with their packaging system, their compressing system, all those stuff that the client needs to know how to deal with. And if they ever change that, you're basically either asking them to hold a server or basically just support the older one. And like I said, even more than that, okay, more importantly, is let's say there's a vulnerability on the download server found. Or, I don't know, the host that originally did it has some dispute with Valve and decides to stop working with them. And they have to change their clients and stuff, so they'll have to update stuff. And if they update the stuff, that means they need to update the legacy client or it will stop working. And the thing is, it will stop working even worse than now, because now you at least had half a year of a warning before it happens. There you'll just be basically 1 day with, 1 day without, and that's it. You lost the ability to use Steam suddenly out of nowhere. And I think it's probably much worse. And okay, so to close it, my main point is, if Valve does make a legacy client, I honestly think that's a great thing they do. Okay, I think that would be amazing. But that's the thing, I think it will be amazing. Not that will just be what's supposed to happen. I don't think Valve is required to do it. Not legally, not morally. I think that if they do decide to do it, they're going a step beyond. They're giving you more than what they were required to give you. That's my belief on here. Okay? Now, I think that's mostly covering the points here. And if I miss something, you're welcome to tell me. Now, I will not reply again to the topic of offline. I will not reply again to punch cards. I will not reply again to topics that are just repeating the same thing you said before. Just replying to the topic I said without actually replying to anything I actually said, just repeating the same points. Because that's really annoying. It's frustrating to talk to because I don't come in discussions to have a discussion with a wall. Okay? I'm here to talk to people. And if the way you're going to discuss with me stuff is just by repeating. That's meaning that basically your text could just as much be a spray on a wall. And I could basically just talk at the wall, and the wall just keep showing me the same sprays until maybe they just get wiped out from time and my wind blowing on it. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to have a discussion with one way, okay? I'm not going to just keep discussing and having a guy shouting me back stuff without actually hearing anything I said, okay? And the most important on that, and the most higher level on that, is this point with the offline, okay? Because this is irritating. It really irritates me. Okay, I said it over and over again. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. It's not for you. It wasn't a reply for you. I know what offline mode is. I know what the limits are. Stop talking to me about it because it doesn't have anything to do with the points I'm talking to you. And you keep coming and saying, "Oh, but it doesn't have downloads. Oh, but it doesn't have achievement." But I never said it does. And I didn't say it's good because of that. I didn't say it's good for you. I didn't say it's a good fix. I said something specific. Okay? And repeating the same thing over and over and over and over, saying the same stuff, is irritating. It's just irritating. It's frustrating. That's one of the things that really makes me come and say, why am I even on discussions? Then I have one discussion with someone and I'm actually, okay, now this is why I'm here. Because I can help people, because I can actually discuss stuff with people that actually respect and have respect. That actually can reply and actually read what you say and say, you're wrong, and give you a reason for that. And you can agree to disagree with it. With you, I can't agree to disagree. Because there is nothing to disagree and nothing to agree because there's no discussion going on. Because here, I already told you it's not relevant, and you just keep saying it is. Because other places, I said something, and you're answering something completely different that I didn't say, or giving points that don't really answer anything I said. So either my points are just not clear, and hopefully this video will clear them out, or you're not reading them, because I can't see another option on why I have to repeat myself over and over again on the same stuff. Okay? Because this is just going in loops, and loops, and loops. And I'm really trying to understand, and I replied to the topic, I'm trying to give you something. The thing is, a lot of times you're giving me stuff that I already replied to. I really think I already gave an answer to that. So you keep saying the same stuff, it's like, but I already answered that in your last post, so I'll make it more clear. Maybe you didn't understand me right. But then you just keep saying the same stuff. Again, a bit different wording. Listen, and the thing is, you write a lot. Okay, over here you wrote tons of, I don't know how many posts this is, how much words this, but this is a lot. Okay, this is really appreciated. Okay, I really appreciate this. But the thing is, and that's why I'm actually applying to you in a video, not just saying, that's it, this is a brick wall talk and I'm not going to talk to you again. Because I do feel you're investing the time. That's also why it's frustrating me. Okay, that's why it's really irritating me to answer like this. Because I don't think you're just wasting my time. I really do think you're trying to reply to me. I really do think you're trying to answer me. You're really trying to give answers. So I'm not getting why is this repeating itself. I'm not getting why this isn't moving over. It's to a better place, to a better discussion, and actually doing something. Because you look serious, okay? You seem serious. You seem like a guy that's actually able to talk to people, actually discuss stuff properly. So please, give me a reply on the stuff I'm saying. Actually answer what I'm saying. And when I'm telling you that something wasn't for you, please just drop it and move on. And stop answering it. And even more answering when I said this part is not basically answering my topic that I'm saying it's not relevant by saying like it is, like I posted is relevant when I didn't. Okay, that's all I'm asking. I like to have discussion. I like to ask respectfully. Please don't frustrate me with just repeating stuff. Let's try to move here. Let's try to move the discussion forward. Okay, let's try to actually make points and not just talk to walls. Okay, that's about it. Hopefully nobody else will see this. I mean, it's mostly a reply to you. Even anybody else is welcome to say that I'm an idiot and I'm typed completely wrong everything, and that'll be fine. Because a lot of time I type stuff, and sometimes I just forget stuff because I'm in the middle of typing it, and I'm thinking while I type usually, like I talk. So that's it. This is my, I guess you could say a rant in a way, but this is my reply here, and I'm hoping this will make it clear and will actually help us move on. And I'm really sorry I can't see your name. I really wish I could, but I really don't know how to read that.